Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel, Star Cub Review. Today, well, actually it's tonight, but I'm doing it as a tonight sort of premiere special sort of thing. The review that I'm gonna discuss tonight, premiering tomorrow morning, is a game I've recently finished, and as you all have probably guessed it, that is Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, which recently just got released, and I cannot believe I have finally been able to sit through the entirety of Final Fantasy V and finish it, because back in the day I didn't have it on the original Super Nintendo, but I had it on PlayStation when they did it in a bundle. I think it was Final Fantasy Anthology, which came with Final Fantasy 4 and 5. I believe I have my black label copy of it somewhere, not the Anthology one, but it was released in another bundle with Chrono Trigger. And I definitely have that in my collection downstairs somewhere, which I would show everybody, but I can't grab it right now because everything is everywhere, and I'm trying to sort out a new display case and everything like that, and bookshelf and all that. So I will show that in time. But I finally finished this game after, oh my god, 20 odd years. I had gotten to the end, almost gotten to the end in the PlayStation version of Final Fantasy V, which is a direct port of Final Fantasy V from the Super Nintendo with enhanced graphics and everything like that, but still the original same soundtrack from Nobuo Uematsu. Everything about this game is bloody fantastic. I have always enjoyed Final Fantasy V from basically now from start to finish. After all those years, the nostalgia still hits. Even though I didn't have the Super Nintendo version, it brought me back to the PlayStation 1 version, with the Pixel Remaster being that it's enhanced visuals. Everything about it is absolutely stunning. It still keeps that special graphic vibe, old school gaming, but it's just enhanced more. It's crisp. It's very clear they put a lot of effort into it. The soundtrack is still amazing. You've got a rearranged soundtrack with all different new bonuses added in. You've got a bestiary. You can listen to all the soundtracks from Final Fantasy V. And I am just absolutely gobsmacked by Final Fantasy V. Even after all these years, it still hits with all the feels. Probably one of the best. Just one of the best original Final Fantasy games from back in the day. Absolutely, hands down, Final Fantasy V just absolutely blew my mind from start to finish. It is absolutely amazing. It has one of the best bloody job systems in all the Final Fantasies. Its job system is so vast, and it gives you a lot of customization to customize the characters how you want them to be. But Krilly, Galuf, Faris, Lena, it's all in this game. I just cannot express how much I absolutely loved Final Fantasy V. Boko, wow. Boko is one of my favorite chocobos, and his storyline is absolutely amazing in this. And the Pixel Remaster just does an absolutely fantastic job of just really bringing you everything much better. The only downside to Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster is the fact that it doesn't have the added dungeons and jobs from the Game Boy Advance port, which unfortunately I don't have. I'm trying to get my hands on one because I would love to get my hands on one, but unfortunately with the price going up so quick, I can't afford to spend my money on every single thing, that comes out, or that has been out. I mean, I've spent enough money as it is collecting PlayStation 2, Game Boy, 3DS games, PlayStation 5 games, PlayStation 3, you name it. Super Nintendo. I'm getting up high range here, and Switch as well, which I'm absolutely in love with. But this is for I'm reviewing the Switch version of this. It's on PlayStation 4, it's on PlayStation 5. So it's absolutely amazing, this game. And Stuart Bart's, he's so witty, so funny. He is great as a protagonist. But with Final Fantasy V, it's not just about Bart's being the main character. All of those other characters are protagonists as well, and their stories are all intertwined into each other, which makes it doesn't just focus on Bart's being the sole protagonist like Cloud and Zidane, Tidus and all of them. It basically intermingles their stories all together to really hit home, and the main enemy in it being Exdeath. Exdeath is amazing in this game. Hands down, one of the best original villains from the original games. That's with that saying, the other best original game from way back in the day is Final Fantasy VI. And that's one that I have on my Switch, which I am going to play from start to finish. And then that will be the first time I've been able to finish Final Fantasy VI, because I had Final Fantasy VI back in the day on PlayStation, on the original PlayStation, and I never got to the end. And unfortunately, I fell in love with Final Fantasy VI. I absolutely adore the story, but it was so many years, it was over 20 years ago now. I have to play it fresh in my mind again to jolt me with the story. But the characters in Final Fantasy VI were absolutely goddamn fucking amazing. Final Fantasy V is goddamn amazing as well, and I have a real special place for Final Fantasy V. It's up there as one of my top Final Fantasy games. I will do a video for the top Final Fantasy games, in my opinion, are the best ones that I love in the series. But other than that, Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster, absolutely hands down a fucking fantastic game. I enjoyed it. It was great to play on the Switch. Absolutely amazing to play on the Switch, actually. I was debating whether or not to get it on PlayStation 5, but Switch is much better for me. The characters, absolutely hands down, some of my friggin' favourite characters in a Final Fantasy game. The story is amazing. It basically starts out with a meteor falling, and then from there, all chaos breaks loose, the crystals shatter, and Exdeath's involved, and then of course you have the characters going around trying to solve how to save the Earth from destruction. It is hands down amazing. The music, Nobu Uematsu soundtrack, absolutely fantastic, and I cannot praise Square Enix enough for bringing the Pixel remasters to the Switch and to the PlayStation 5. But the one thing that does let the Pixel remaster down is the fact that it doesn't include the extra dungeons and the extra jobs from the Game Boy Advance port, which I would have loved to have seen. But other than that, Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster for me is a 10 out of 10. Absolutely hands down, fucking fantastic game. It made me cry. There were so many heart-wrenching moments in that game that make me cry. Very much like Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII. Some of the most heart-wrenching storylines I have seen come out of there, and they don't hold back with, killing this character or killing that character. It does hit very hard, and, being a big softie that I am, it really does pull at the heartstrings, especially when it involves something so, you just don't expect it. Aerith from Final Fantasy VII, that was very, very unexpected back in the day, back in 1997. Still hits, even after 20 years, it still hits. But I absolutely love this game, and I think Square Enix deserve praise for it. And I really hope they bring more higher quality to, some of their remakes. If they, do any more remakes. Parasite Eve, and Parasite Eve 2. We need remakes of those. Get onto it, Square Enix. I played Parasite Eve 2, but I've never played Parasite Eve 1, but I've seen so many videos on it and stuff. It looks absolutely fantastic, but I'm not going to go out and buy the PlayStation 1 version because it's fucking expensive as it is, and I've seen how hard that game is. Parasite 2 for me was hard. Still never completed that game. 20 years later, still never. But if we got a remake of both of those games, full-on remakes, I think they'd be a killing. It would be an absolute killing to see them as remakes. But other than that, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. This will be set as a premiere, so I hope you all enjoy it when it comes out. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what Pixel remasters you're playing, what ones got you, involved, which ones you liked, what you didn't like, that sort of thing. Other than that, guys, take it easy. Bye.